are simulcasting at prisonplanet.tv. Chuck Norris just called in. We're lining him up to go live with him. Thank you so much for joining us. We have several guests joining us from Copenhagen, Denmark. Several reporters, one a reporter, one a scientist, to be breaking down the fraud of man-made global warming. Obviously, not just the ClimateGate emails where the head UN scientists are engaged in premeditated fraud, covering up the decline of temperatures in the last 9 years. Temperatures stopped heating up 15 years ago, started dropping 9 years ago. We'll be covering that coming up in the next hour. We're also going to get into the fact that Ron Paul said here last Friday that he believes the Obama takeover of health care to make even more Americans dependent on the government, $250,000 fines, 5 years in prison if you don't get insurance. He believes, as it stands, it will pass, but by one vote. So we better put pressure on Lieberman and let him know that if he doesn't vote against this, somehow the whole nation is going to target him to not be reelected. But for the next 30 minutes, we are joined by Chuck Norris. He really doesn't need any introduction, though I will give him one here today. He's a martial arts expert, probably the most famous martial arts person in the world. Joined the Air Force after high school. During a service, he went to South Korea, where he began his training in martial arts and Thai Sudo. He returned to Los Angeles in '62 and opened a karate school catering to such celebrities as Steve McQueen, who later encouraged Norris into his acting career. And then it goes on to his top TV show on CBS, Walker, Texas Ranger, best-selling author. He's done so much for kids who've been in trouble, teaching them discipline. He's a best-selling author, and he's also fighting the tyranny. So, Chuck Norris, good to have you back with us.
Thanks, Alex. It's a pleasure to be on your show.
Good to have you here with us. We're about to go to break,
okay.
but I want to come back and talk about Copenhagen, Obama health care, all these proposals for new taxes. But what's got Chuck Norris most fired up right now?
The health care has me most fired up right now because, they're just going in the wrong direction. And after we come back from the commercial, I can kind of give you an idea of how I think we should work on the health care issue.
Absolutely. So you're more concerned about health care than even Copenhagen?
I don't think they're ever going to get together. I can't see all these nations working together. I don't see China or India or any of them, cooperating on trying to cut down green gas emissions. The thing is, we have to lead by example, Alex. We, the United States, have to lead by example. We should use the stimulus money to develop alternative sources of energy. Let's us here in our own country get our bed in order. Instead of putting garbage in dumps in the ocean, how about developing a way to use it for fuel? We're polluting our oceans, and we're polluting our dumps. We're building all these gases up in these dumps. Why not figure out a way to make that people have already found ways of making turning garbage into fuel, but the government won't pursue it and help make it a reality. We could use alternative sources of energy. We can then develop fuel efficient cars. We don't need cars that can do 140 miles an hour on the road. How about developing a fuel efficient car that maximum speed of 70?
Well,
we have to lead by example, and the other countries will follow, Alex. They see we're serious about cleaning up the planet, by doing these type of things, cleaning up our own house and cleaning up alternative sources and finding alternative ways to use fuel and eliminate this cap and trade baloney.
Well, let's talk about that. Chuck Norris, the legend, can certainly say the legend, on the line with us. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll be right back. We've got Chuck Norris with us until the bottom of the hour. We are live on the 14th day of December 2009 on this Monday. A bunch of subjects. We're going to go over government takeover of healthcare, ClimateGate, the Copenhagen meeting that's happening right now. We're going to talk about so many other issues. Also, we're going to talk about Kickstart for kids and the website. In fact, Chuck, let's do that right now. I mean, you're such a humble person, but you do so much for children around the country. Tell us out of the gates how folks can get involved with the Kickstart program and the different websites they can visit.
Well, KickstartKids.org is our organization where we teach the martial arts in the inner city middle schools. I started this 17 years ago, Alex, and currently we have 6,500 kids in our program. We have graduated over 60,000 kids over the last 17 years, and most of these kids going on to college and becoming successful in their own right. And they would tell you, if they would ever talk to you, that the Kickstart program is what saved them from going to prison or possibly being killed, because it got them out of gangs. See, the thing is, to be in our program, you no longer have to, you cannot be in gangs. And, most of the kids are, in fact, we have schools in Pflugerville right near you.
Awesome.
You know where Pflugerville is, right there near
Absolutely.
Austin. And anyway, Pflugerville called us and said, we see how successful your program is, and we would like to implement it as a community program in Pflugerville. So the community got together, opened up 2 schools in Pflugerville, paying for it themselves. And it was so successful the first year that they opened up the 3 more schools. So we have a total of 5, all 5 middle schools in Pflugerville. And that's kind of where we're heading with our program, is getting a community involved. And like I say, we have kids. I had one young Hispanic boy got a full scholarship to MIT. A lot of our kids have graduated from high school, valedictorians, because once they start believing in themselves, Alex, then the world's the limit for them. I mean, they can do anything they want to do, and it's been proven with our program. The martial arts is a great tool. It turned my life around, Alex. I was an insecure, non-athletic kid when I got involved in the martial arts when I went to Korea, and it just turned my whole life around. It raised my self-esteem and instilled that discipline and respect that I was lacking at that time. And so I know it does work, and like I say, that's my goal, and it's my wife, Jean, and my wife, passion is to implement Kickstart all over the country one day.
Well, it's beautiful what you're doing. And also, you've got the official Chuck Norris Fact Book, a new edition out on that, a perfect stocking stuffer, available all over better bookstores everywhere and at Amazon.com. And also, I know a lot of the books and products you sell, you end up giving a lot of the proceeds also to Kickstart.
Well, all the proceeds from anything I do outside my entertainment world goes straight to our Kickstart Foundation. Funny about this fact thing, this started about 4 years ago. I started getting these facts on my email, a few of them, and I'm reading them and saying, oh, hey, I said, these are funny, but not expecting them to go anywhere. And then all of a sudden the college kids picked up on the facts, and it became a phenomenon in the universities and colleges. Then it filtered down to the high schools and the middle schools, and then it went global. Then it started going all over the world. Then the military picked up on it. And I got a call from the commander in Iraq, and he said, Chuck, these Chuck Norris facts are driving me crazy over here. All the troops want you to come over and visit with them. So, I did 2 trips to Iraq.
Chuck, do us a favor. Give us some Chuck Norris facts.
Well, Chuck Norris was bit by a cobra, and after 5 excruciating days, the cobra died. In fact, that's the first one in the book, and I kind of I have the facts in the book, and then I tell stories behind it. And the story on that particular fact is that when I was filming Walker, Texas Ranger, I was doing a scene on the set and with a rattlesnake, and the thing bit me. And I talk about the story of this thing, how I picked him up the first time and I got him good. Second time I tried, and he nailed me, and and what went on after that. So it's some pretty interesting stories that follow the fact there. And like you say, it's good, Christmas talk type book.
Chuck, please give us a few more Chuck Norris facts from the man.
Well, they wanted to put Chuck Norris on Mount Rushmore, but the granite wasn't tough enough for his beard.
Oh, it's unbelievable.
In fact, when I'm writing these, Alex, my 8-year-old twins are coming up as I'm trying to find there's 600,000 facts out there. So I'm trying to find 101 of my favorite facts. So I'm looking through these all these facts, trying to find the ones that I think are the funniest.
What's your favorite?
Oh, golly. Actually, my favorite one is one that my 8-year-old son came up with. He was, he says, Chuck Norris eats bullets for breakfast.